refine racism, because racism goes through 4 stages, and the 4th stage is the refining stage. That's like putting the finishing touches on a car that's being produced. See, then you put the paint on and put all the little fancy gadgets in. You put the stereo system in. I mean, after you get the basic car, which is for transportation, but you put all the little conveniences in there, all the little buttons and whatnot, and all of the ornaments that will make it appealing. And that's the refined stage of racism, just like manufacturing anything that you want to sell to the world or impose on the world.
Mm-hmm.
The white supremacists have a code. I mean, they get theirs by osmosis. They don't have a code book. They just, by osmosis, meaning they just look around them. The average white person just looks around them and see what other white people are doing when it comes to black people. And they just do the same thing.
Yes,
so that
sir.
becomes a code called white supremacy.
Okay.
Black people do not have such a code to counteract the effects of the white code. What you do is just go about doing things that are constructive, and that applies to everybody. Just be a constructive person, and you will attract people who are constructive. There's no formula for that. That's just the way it works, if it's going to work at all. But it's never going to be the way it ought to be. I want to emphasize that to everybody. In the system of white supremacy, your so-called relationships, because some people say, I don't want to be bothered with all that race stuff and whatnot. I just want to find me a boyfriend or a girlfriend and, and get married and settle down, and I ain't got time for all this other stuff. I mean, the problem is too big. The world will always be messed up. I'm not trying to save the world. I'm just trying to make my way through it. Fine. But the problem is, the world would interfere with you, and does, each and every day. I mean, this is why it's difficult for a black female to find a black male that she can talk to, and he's making any kind of sense when he talks back. That's difficult. Why? Because he's not trying to make any sense, because he's given up on making sense, because he has concluded that nothing in the world makes sense. So why bother with anything? Why be responsible for anything? Why try to do anything that makes sense?